Welcome back to Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and Marvel's Hawkeye just gave us our strongest evidence yet that joining the MCU is one of the biggest Marvel villains, Wilson Fisk Kingpin, a rumored return by Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix Daredevil, now running a criminal operation less afraid to fat shame him. Just don't do it in front of Vanessa.
Embarrassed me in front of her.
Now, there's actually quite a bit of evidence that sets up Wilson Fisk's new existence in Hawkeye and in the broader MCU, but even more exciting than just him coming back at all is what his presence means to the MCU storylines coming up, and how he could be the missing link to the way the post-Endgame Marvel world continues to try to blow itself up. So let's break down the evidence and stare into the white cracked paint on the wall to find some insight. From the outset, Hawkeye pitched itself as very much the kind of series that Wilson Fisk could plow into, the way Loki seemed to be the kind of show that Kang might show up in. In the Marvel Comics, Kingpin is known as the oversized villain to Spider-Man, who oversees much of New York's organized crime, looming above the law as a Goliath of real estate. And then really any friendly neighborhood vigilante in the city runs afoul of Fisk sooner or later. Daredevil, Punisher, and in the 2012 Fraction Aha comics, Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, in which they face the Tracksuit Gang, who report to Kingpin. This Disney Plus Hawkeye series seems to be adapting that storyline more closely than any other Marvel Disney Plus series yet has stuck to their source material. The show also introduces Echo, Maya Lopez, who in the comics becomes Kingpin's adopted daughter after her father's death, which really goes pretty much the same way in Hawkeye episode 3, down to a mysterious uncle mentor figure to Maya, who is now Maya's boss. This uncle wears a tailored suit with cufflinks and walks with heavy footsteps and laughs in a way that sounds a lot like Vincent D'Onofrio's laugh.
Uncle will take you home after class. I'll see you tonight.
Did you finally get something to eat? I mean,
We wrapped.
okay.
But the cufflinks appear to be the telltale clue, because as we saw in Netflix Daredevil, Wilson Fisk is obsessed with cufflinks. He's got a whole drawer full of them. With these cufflinks, it's hard to tell what the design is, because from this angle, all we really see is the stopper clip that pokes through the inside of the cuff. Whatever the flashy design is would show up on the other side, the outside of the wrist. But back in episode 1, the hotel where Kate attends Eleanor's event is the real-life Lot New York Palace Hotel, a location that, in Daredevil Season 3, was used as the presidential hotel that Wilson Fisk bought and spent the duration of his house arrest. In this location in Hawkeye, Armand accused Eleanor of building her empire deceptively on the back of an association with a powerful, shady third party, one that he could threaten with powerful friends of his own. This is also the location of the auction, an auction that in the comics Kingpin is in attendance, but this auction mentions one specific head of organized crime that the Ronin nearly annihilated the power and status of. And then in episode 3, Clint references this top boss again.
They started small, but grew. There's the guy at the top. He'll do anything to grow the operation.
I thought Maya was the boss.
No, there's someone above Maya. Someone you don't want to mess with.
Episode 3 also shows us a Tracksuit Mafia front business called Fat Man Auto Repair. The tracksuits have a track record of shell companies that reference themselves. This does sound like a name that they might use to pay respect to the big guy. Really, all of this evidence is on top of various rumors that Kingpin would appear in the series, fueled largely by Vincent D'Onofrio's own curious social media activity around the Hawkeye trailer releases. The week before the premiere, he tweeted with a Hawkeye promo video, "This is going to be fun." And this was after numerous past instances where followers jumped on him for Hawkeye-related postings, after which he would then try to cover his tracks. So he knew what he was doing here. D'Onofrio also responded to a rumored visualization of his Wilson Fisk as a larger, bulkier frame Kingpin, the way the character is often shown in the comics, to which he said, "It's a really bad job from someone trying to make it look like me. This guy in the pic is more handsome, I think." You know, sometimes these details are just so wonderful to find. It's almost like they were custom designed for us. It's like unwrapping a gift, something that was perfectly intended just for you. Well, what if the one thing you spend most of the time in your life using was perfectly crafted for you? Well, thanks to Helix, you can get the mattress intended for you. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding customized to fit your needs and shipped right to your door. Helix is a sleep quiz that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. I took the quiz and got matched with the Dusk Luxe Helix mattress because I wanted a medium medium firm mattress with lumbar support that sleeps cool. I've had it for over a year and I love it. It totally delivers on all of the great features. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door for free. It comes rolled up in a surprisingly small box and is super easy to set up yourself. Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you can get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. And if you don't love it, they will pick it up for you and you will get a full refund. I love my Helix and I think you would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can check out the link below or go to helixsleep.com/rockstars and get up to $200 off your Helix mattress. Ultimately, it seems like the watch from Avengers Compound, the item at auction that the tracksuits were sent to retrieve, is going to be the key confirming that Uncle truly is D'Onofrio Wilson Fisk, and more importantly, what Uncle's plans are that Clint Barton and Kate Bishop are about to interfere with. Clint actually alludes to that loose thread of the watch to Kate in episode 3.
Do you think that the tracksuits were after anything else at that auction? It's pretty upsetting to think there might be stuff from the Avengers Compound floating around out there.
This establishes the bigger Avengers level threat for the remaining episodes of this season to be weaponry and other advanced tech stolen from the wreckage of Avengers Compound after Endgame, which Endgame did clue us into by having a helicopter in the background tote something away from that wreckage, and these goodies now in the hands of the worst people in the world. In other words, loose boobs. Something I get a case of when I don't share enough of my pizza with the dog. This is also the threat posed at the end of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if you remember, when the power broker Sharon Carter, who hired a chemist to manufacture new super soldier serum in Madripoor, scored a pardon from the US government after her post-Civil War legal troubles and couldn't even wait to get back to her hotel to start making evil plans.
Start lining up our buyers. Super soldiers might be off the menu, but we're about to have full access to government secrets, prototype weapons, you name it. Should be something for everyone.
This seemed to be setting up the Armor Wars series on Disney+, which is going to feature Rhodey dealing with Iron Man weaponry getting into the wrong hands. One of Carter's buyers in that moment may very well have been Uncle, whether or not he's confirmed to be Wilson Fisk, because I pointed out a few times how that tracksuit Lieutenant Ivan seems to be more physically enhanced than normal. He deflects a USB arrow Kate fired at him on the bridge, and he punches out a car window with his bare fist. Now, while more aggro strength than superpowers, it is the kind of boost that John Walker seemed to get when he took that serum. It's also interesting how much this Hawkeye series is shouting out Ant-Man, from Ant-Man's random inclusion in Rogers the Musical to the Pym-Tech arrow that Hawkeye used on the bridge. This tells us that ever since Endgame, Clint has been apparently supplied, at least in part, by Hank Pym. This partnership may inform Clint's new concern about the tech being in wrong hands, which is always a major concern of Hank's.
You sent my suit through the mail?
And coming out of that movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, we never got an answer as to who Sonny Birch's mysterious buyer was, who was super eager to get his hands on Pym-Tech. That buyer could be Uncle, and Uncle could be Wilson Fisk Kingpin, repeat customer of the power broker and titan of crime, eager to gobble up all things stamped with the names Stark and Pym. And with a guy that big, you know there's gonna be some big old loose boobs. To support this channel, check out one of our great merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis and breakdowns of everything Marvel. Thank you for watching. Bye.